Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is Councillor James Pasternak. We're ready to start. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the Canadian Olympic team for its success in a number of sports in their medal haul, and we wish them best of luck for the balance of the game. Although we're meeting in different locations today, North York Community Council would like to acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississauga of the Credit, Nashwabi, Chippewa, Haudenosaunee, and Wendat peoples, is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississauga of the Credit. Today's meeting is being held by video conference and is being live streamed online at youtube.com/Toronto City Council Live. If you're registered to speak at today's meeting, please listen for me to call your name. I will call speakers in the order that they appear on the list. The list of speakers can be viewed online by visiting North York Community Council page at toronto.ca/council and clicking speakers box for today's meeting. Members, the City Clerk has provided all agenda materials online at toronto.ca/council. Are there any declarations of interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act? I don't see any. May I have a motion to confirm the minutes from our meetings on January 6th, 2026? That wave of hands is overwhelming. Councillor Cheng, can you move the minutes? Yes. Yes, Councillor Cheng, thank you very much. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, let's do a run-through of the agenda. We're trying to get the meeting done so that the weather conditions do not deteriorate any further, so people, if they have to travel elsewhere, whether home or back to City Hall or whatever, can do so in a safe manner. So I appreciate the efficiency of this meeting.
Item 4A is a supplementary report.
But
The first part is fine.
I'll just leave it as part of the time. Okay, NY 30.5. York Ridge Road, application for a fence exemption. Councillor Burnside? Their deputies. Did you say you gave me the Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so Councillor Burnside, you're moving 30.5, 37 York Ridge Road, application for a fence exemption.
It's not me.
I have your name down as this one. York Ridge Road is not yours?
That's mine, I believe. 37 York Ridge Road is
Okay.
Valley West.
Sorry, okay, fair enough.
I have a couple questions for staff, if that's okay.
Okay, so you're going to hold the item?
Yep.
Okay. 30.6, in on the park, assumption of services registered plan. Councillor Burnside.
Move staff recommendations.
Staff recommendations moved on 30.6. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. NY 30.7, series of addresses on Steeles Avenue East, 8 and 10 Nipigon Avenue, residential demolition application. Councillor Cheng.
Move staff recommendations.
Staff recommendations move on number 7. All those in
Oh, with conditions.
number 3, conditions.
Demolition with conditions, yeah.
Okay. Demolition with conditions. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Item number 8, series of addresses on Hendon Avenue, residential demolition application. Counselor Cheng, and 3 options once again.
Also demolition with conditions.
Okay, moving option number 3. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. NY 30.9, 181 Cocksfield Avenue and 824 Sheppard Avenue West, construction staging area time exemption. I'll move staff recommendations. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Dalemount Avenue, 3010, traffic calming, speed humps. Counselor Cole?
I'll move staff recommendations.
Staff recommendations on number 10. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Number 11, Ranleigh Avenue, traffic calming, speed humps. Counselor Chernos Lynn. And I do not have any deputations on the item.
I just have a few very brief remarks on this one, so I just wonder if we can hold this down, or if you want to do it right
Yeah,
now.
we can hold it down. Just a reminder, we are trying to
I will be very quick.
extreme weather event
I know.
coming. Okay,
I will
thank
be
you
very
very
quick. Thank you.
much. Item number 12, 20 O'Neill Road, designation of fire routes and amendment to Chapter 880.
Move staff recommendations.
Counselor Burnside is moving staff recommendations. All those in favor?
I thought it was done.
Opposed? That is carried. Item number 13. We have public speakers on item number 13, which is Moatfield Drive traffic calming. So we'll hold that for speakers.
In favor, so we might be able to,
Is James Lee here?
I could move, yeah, and it's staff recommendations, so I'm happy to move staff recommendations.
Counselor Burnside, do you want to dispose of this item?
Yeah. I know that person's in favor, so I'm happy to move staff recommendations.
Okay, let's just speak to him very briefly and let him know that we're going to support the staff recommendations. Mr. Lee?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, so your local councillor is going to support the recommendations, which I understand you support as well? Or did you want
Yes.
to, did you want to speak?
Maybe I can interject.
You're welcome to speak, but I just wanted to let you know that I understand you're supportive, and the local councillor will be moving the supportive staff recommendations. Mr. Lee?
Yes, I'm here. Am I okay to speak now?
Okay, let's go. Okay. Sure, you can speak now.
Well, thank you. Moatfield Drive, just to give you a very quick explanation. It, we have over 1,000 students from ages 2 to grade 12, and both of our campuses are split. Moatfield Drive splits both campuses. We've tried numerous ways to enhance the safety of it, including our local Toronto Police, their Vision Zero program has been unsuccessful, and we're requesting, we're in need of some really enhanced measures to improve the safety of our school community and the safety of our students. So the speed humps, absolutely, and also the reduction. We're a school zone, and there's a sign that says 40 kilometers. We'd like to respectfully request that be reduced down to 30 kilometers in a typical school zone. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'll pass it over to you.
Great, thank you very much for your comments. Any questions for the deputant? No? Okay, thank you. Let's bring it into committee again. Councillor Burnside, how would you like to proceed?
Like to move staff recommendations.
Staff recommendations moved on Moatfield Drive, traffic calming, speed humps. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Item number 14, 120 Dallimore Circle, addressing changes to parking provisions, community bus stop. Councillor Burnside, and I do not have any deputations on the item.
I think this is my recommendation, isn't it?
It is. Still has to be moved?
Yeah, I'd still like to move it, yeah. But I
Okay.
just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, no, it looks like we've received a letter from you, right?
It's basically there's a community bus that runs Monday to Friday, not on the weekend, so I just am moving to allow parking on the weekends, which was previously there.
And I see staff were consulted on it. Or is that, yes, I believe, because of the distances were measured by staff.
Sure. I don't know.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Item number 15, Parkwoods and Don Mills neighborhood, lowering speed limits.
Oh, someone online.
Counselor Burnside.
Yeah, I think this is staff recommendations, isn't it?
No, it.
Mine
actually,
again? Like,
you're recommending,
I'm on
assuming
fire.
because of the
leading a
complex.
charge here, showing some leadership in Ward 16, which I'm happy to do on an ongoing basis. Just the speed is all over the place in that area, and I think it was a 50. We just want to make it uniform at 40, and I know that's something Councillor Carroll.
Yes.
Because I will likely get a ticket.
Mr. Chairman, it's all the background noise there, please.
I think it's probably him watching.
We're thinking the background noise is coming from Councillor Cole.
Councillor Cole, is that noise coming from your office or?
If
not
not,
for
then
me.
there's a staff member attending virtually who needs to mute. Do we have staff logging on virtually from somewhere?
Not that I'm aware of, anyways.
All right, well, hopefully they've discovered the problem. Anyway, we're back to NY 30.15, Parkwoods and Don Mills neighborhood, lowering speed limits. A wide range of streets that I've never heard of, but I'm sure they're very important locally. Councillor Burnside, did you want to move the recommendations? Yes, please. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Number 16, Upjohn Road, changes to parking bylaws. Once again, Councillor Burnside. This must be an election year. I don't know what's going on in Councillor Burnside's ward.
Sorry, which number was that? Upjohn?
Upjohn, number
Yeah, that's
16.
just 33 division. They only have 2 parking spots. It's at the end of an industrial area, so we're just trying to clear up some spots so when people need to visit, they can park somewhere.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All those in favor? That is carried.
And see, Councillor Pasternak, my stuff gets through without much argument.
No, I was
That's how
waiting-
it's done. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, no, Councillor Burnside, we really appreciate that we don't have to have 10-minute speeches on these items, but it's great.
He's trying to get me a speeding ticket, but he's going to reduce my cost of parking. It's fair.
We have one new item to add to the agenda from Councillor Cole. It's on the screen.
Did we vote on Dunblaine? Did we do 17? Oh, here we are. This is the new item.
This is Dunblaine. We can deal, Councillor Cole, we can deal with it now, or we can hold it down.
Move staff recommendation.
Well, they're your no.
My
Councillor Cole, they're your
recommendations,
recommendations, which I'm sure is
okay.
very
I
solid.
think we have to add it to the agenda first.
Yes, we have to
vote
check.
on that.
Oh, yeah.
That is correct, Councillor Carroll. We have to have 2 votes. The first one's to add it to the agenda, and the second one is to vote on whether to adopt the item or not. So all those in favor of adding it to the agenda? Opposed? That is carried. Councillor Cole, did you want to move your recommendations now?
I'll move my recommendations now.
Okay, all right. Recommendations moved. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, let's go back to the top of the agenda on the timed items. First one I have here is a series of addresses on Saguenay Avenue and Otter Crescent.
Mr. Chair, could I just ask a question before we start the items? I have motions on item number 4, and I just refreshed, and it looks like it's been moved. Were the motions moved?
It's a
It
timed
doesn't
item.
appear to be a held item. So it's timed, we haven't
it wouldn't have
consent
been-
agenda itemed anything? Okay.
It wouldn't have been moved if it was timed,
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
but it's showing it's been moved?
No, it's not showing anything at all, so it's neither held nor anything. Just wanted to make sure that it was still not adopted. Okay, thanks.
Right. So, okay, all right. So let's go back up to number 1, a series of addresses on Saguenay Avenue and Otter Crescent. We do have deputations on the item. I'm looking for a Michael Buckstein. Mr. Buckstein? Mr. Buckstein, can you unmute?
There we go. Sorry, couldn't find that button. Yep.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to address the council and ask that each of you consider what I'm saying as if you were the owner of my property, a property below the new structures proposed. The over 40 documents and countless pages of submission include arborist, tree preservation, environmental impact. You've seen them all. There are, I don't know how many pages there. Countless dollars have been spent and experts deployed to explain away a simple reality that if you install a massive, non-permeable structure on top of what was soil, the water's going to go somewhere. That somewhere is my backyard. That will flood and kill the trees that provide habitat for birds, rabbits, foxes, coyotes, and the people who moved into the area for that exact natural beauty. A similar proposal was made and withdrawn after substantial objections from the neighbors, the committee, not too long ago, just a couple of years ago, and I tried at the time unsuccessfully to meet Councillor Cole on the matter. The process of changing bylaws seems to be an end run on that previous meeting where the structure was deemed insensitive to the neighborhood, neighbors, and the environment. So I'm urging you, despite the starting position of recommending this bylaw amendment, that you reconsider what seems to be an abusive process. My son, Sam, I think, who's going to follow me, will deal with some of the details of our objection.
Okay, thank you very much for your comments. Any questions for the deputant? No? I have a Samuel Buckstein listed. Is that, I guess that's a family member?
Yes, I'm present. I'm the son of Michael.
Okay, thanks for joining us. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. So I am a former resident of 59 Otter Crescent, and I'm also familiar with the beauty of this property. But our objections really stem from this concern, as my dad alluded to, this abusive process. That these applicants came forward back in 2022, proposing to build 2 houses on this property, each of which had over 4 dozen violations of the bylaw. And we're not talking minor violations, we're talking like twice as large, twice as high, twice as deep, twice the massing, etc. So those were not minor variances. And rather than conform, the applicant tried to first get it through the Committee of Adjustment when they found a significant opposition from the neighborhood, including that they only actually approached us like a day or 2 before the meeting was supposed to take place. So the consultation process was completely flawed from the start. They then withdrew prior to the T-Lab, probably because they were concerned they were going to get some sort of final ruling that was adverse to their desires. And now here they are trying to actually change the bylaw so that the rules that they could not satisfy are just kind of waved away. And it does kind of bring to mind the notwithstanding clause and how we can just sort of explain, wave away the law anytime it becomes inconvenient to us. So this seems like an end run around prior decisions. Our second concern stems from this 1986 transfer or a deed document that basically restricts the entire property to be used as it's currently being used for the enjoyment. And so it was a comment. Okay, there we go. so that this property was supposed to be restricted and used for the enjoyment as it was then being used in 1986, i.e. there was only one property on it at the time. This encumbrance has not been addressed by the applicant. And so as far as I understand, that still apply. And even if that is somehow dealt away with, there's this concern of whether or not the applicant is going to build 2 or 3 buildings on the property. They previously were proposing 2 massive houses. Now they're proposing 1. These are not community housing or affordable housing. They're like French Second Empire revival monstrosities. And so we are concerned that even if they are only going to propose 1 building right now and sort of promise that they're never going to develop a second one, what sort of assurances do we have that they're not going to return at some later date? And finally, as my dad spoke about, there's this concern about the actual environmental harm to the ravine itself, which is really a treasure for our city. And one would think that a day like today, with such an adverse precipitation event, would really highlight the need of maintaining the absorbent areas in our city and not cutting them down. But I leave that for you to consider. I also, as a minor point, would wonder why Councillor Cole declined to meet with us, despite our multiple attempts to reach out and discuss this issue. And so, in short, we respectfully request that you reject this application to amend the bylaw and enforce it as it currently stands and uphold respect for government. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much for your comments. Any questions for the deputant? No? Okay, thank you, Samuel. Martin Rendell? Are you the applicant? Okay, thanks for joining us. You have 5 minutes.
In view of your admonition about the time, I'll try to be brief, but I'll also speak to some of the points the Bucksteins have raised. First of all, I'd like to start by thanking all of city staff, particularly planning staff, for their cooperation and efforts over the last few years in bringing this application to you. As I said, we support fully the staff recommendation. This application has been reviewed thoroughly with numerous reports, peer reviews, etc., and I can speak to those if necessary. The proposal, I think, sir, is quite straightforward. This is currently a 3/4 of an acre lot with 1 house on it at the end of a cul-de-sac. What the proposal is, through the rezoning, is to build a second house on the property. So this is an infill development on what, in planning terms, is recognized, I think, as an underutilized lot. In terms of the policy framework, the site is designated neighborhoods. It also has a natural heritage designation on the easterly portion, which the Bucksteins spoke to, and that is not changing. The neighborhoods designation permits single detached houses, which is the new house happening here. There is also the existing house at 7 Saguenay, which will have some additions to it, and that is all addressed in the zoning bylaw amendment. In terms of the natural heritage area, this property is also subject to the regulations of TRCA, who commented that the proposal does not impact any of their policies or programs. The application with respect to trees, there are 83 regulated trees on the property. That means trees that the city's tree bylaw covers. Only 4 of those 83 trees are being removed, and none of the trees within the ravine area, the natural area, are to be removed. The zoning bylaw has a specific area diagrammatically shown and otherwise shown in terms of basically a no-touch zone in terms of no alteration or tree removal within that area. The natural heritage impact statement that was submitted was reviewed by an external peer reviewer who advised the city that they agreed with the conclusions and findings of that. It has also been vetted by urban forestry and ravine protection, who have found the proposal does not contravene any city policies with respect to natural features, etc. With respect to the restrictive covenant, which Mr. Samuel Buckstein referred to, we've submitted to the city an application to remove that restrictive covenant, which I understand is still being reviewed rather by the city. In any case, it was put on in 1986. It expires next month. And again, that restrictive covenant is with the city, and the city will decide on that. The Bucksteins made comments about drainage going onto their property and creating all sorts of issues. I think most councillor members are aware that applications like this, and certainly this one, has extensive engineering, stormwater management reports, etc. All of those have been accepted by your experts in terms of site drainage on the property, and that it, again, meets city requirements, including that you don't discharge water onto other properties. So I can advise Community Council that this application over the last several years has been the subject of extensive reports addressing issues that staff have raised with respect to natural environment servicing, site planning, etc. And as the staff report describes, the application meets with acceptance by all city departments, planning, engineering, ravine protection, go down the list. So with that, I'll rest my case, and I'm happy to answer any questions or comments that may have.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions for the deputant? No? Okay, thank you very much. Questions for staff? Councillor Cole, questions for staff?
If I could guess, I guess this is planning staff?
Yes.
If could respond to some of the issues raised by the Bucksteins about their opposition to this application?
Through the chair, the applicant did go through the committee adjustment and then was refused, withdrew their application to the TLAB, and then came in through a zoning bylaw amendment for further review through staff. Through the recommendations of the staff report, staff are recommending approval of the zoning and bylaw application. Speaking on the restricted covenant, community planning staff and the city solicitor have given consent to release the restricted covenant. So that is getting in the process of being released. In terms of the scope that the applicant or the resident has raised, the application is proposing to develop one new lot. So there will be a total of 2 lots and a total of 2 houses with the application. And speaking on the tree protection, there are 4 trees being proposed to be removed, 3 in the front, and then 1 as a result of the rear walkout basement. None of those trees are within the ravine bylaw protection area, and they have sufficient tree protection fencing that has been reviewed by urban forestry and ravine staff as well.
Okay, and has the Toronto Region Conservation Authority had any comment on this application?
Through the chair, the TRCA did review the application, but as a result of Bill 17, they can't comment on any tree-related matters, but only on erosion, and they have no issues with the erosion as a result of the application.
And what about the concerns raised about water runoff? Will the applicant be required to submit drainage reports on this
Yes.
application?
Through the chair, the applicant did submit a functional servicing and stormwater management report that was reviewed by development engineering staff. They evaluate the servicing, the flows and supply of municipal watering and stormwater management opportunities. They don't have any concerns with the proposed reports that was submitted to them. And as the applicant stated that development is required to remain on site, and so runoff will not be accepted on other property. So it has been reviewed by staff, and they are acceptance of the reports that was submitted.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cole. I just have a couple of questions. Did you say that this was rejected at the Committee of Adjustment?
Through the chair, that is correct.
And did this go to the TLAB?
That is correct, but they withdrew the application.
Sorry?
They withdrew the application before a hearing was scheduled or done.
So what was the TLAB's decision?
The application was withdrew from the TLAB, so there's no hearing or decision done.
It was withdrawn.
Yes.
And then they went through this process?
Yes.
Because I'm looking at the report here, and usually you get a background on application background. It mentions nothing like that, unless there's other attachments. I don't see any of that. Now, you had a lot of people come out to such a small application. Were they mostly opposed? 23 people came out to this meeting for I guess a severance and the building of a home.
So through the chair, obviously you heard one deputation today. As part of your package, you probably will see a number of other correspondence in your package where there is a number of residents that are actually in support of the application. And you can see that as part of the communication material.
Okay, all right. So your sense is that the community supports this application?
Through the chair.
Because usually when people come out to these meetings, they're against something.
Through the chair, during the PAC meeting that was held back in 2023, there was some concerns, but through revisions and through explanations, a lot of those concerns have been met or have been resolved, and just the one deputation that is still concerned with the application. But as you stated, that there are some layers of support through the application right now.
So it's my experience when Committee of Adjustment rejects something, that means a number of local residents came out to object to it. I don't know whether that was the case. I wasn't at the hearing. But was there a pivot? Was there opposition at first and then people supported it later, or?
Through the chair, I believe there was some opposition at the Committee of Adjustment, but at that time, the proposal was for 2 new lots, for a total of 3 houses as a result of the proposal. And through the zoning bylaw amendment application, the proposal has changed to a 2-house, 2-lot concept that reduced a lot of the density that was proposed in the original application through the community adjustments.
Okay, so the application's changed substantially. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Any other questions, or we go to speakers? Councillor Cole.
Yeah, I can see this is a bit of an unusual item before us in that it went through Committee of Adjustment, and then there was changes made. There was a lot of community involvement. So it's not an easy item to look at, but I just defer to staff on this because of the complexity, and staff seems to have gone through all the concerns raised by the deputants that were objecting to it in terms of the impact on the ravine, the trees, the water runoff, which they'll be able to address. And again, this application now has been dramatically reduced from its original format to basically a much toned down one of the 2 homes on the lot. Again, it's never an easy situation when a neighbor objects, but it seems that the applicant has done quite a bit to change the original intent of the application and has made modifications. And again, the fact is that the staff have not highlighted any major objections that they have. They are supportive of it, so I'm going to have to basically agree with staff on this and allow the application to proceed.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Cole. Any other speakers on the item? Okay, staff recommendations in front of us, moved by Councillor Cole. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Item number 2, 250 Ferrand Drive, zoning bylaw amendment. We do have a speaker on that. It looks like it might be the applicant. Is there a Richard Domes here? Are you the applicant's representative?
That is correct.
Okay, you have 5 minutes.
Good morning, Chair and members of NYCC. My name is Richard Domes. I'm a partner at Ganning & Walker Domes Ltd. We are the agent for Amexon Development Corporation. Prior to beginning my brief presentation, I would like to take a moment to thank North York planning staff, and particularly Mina Rahimi of City Planning, who led a collaborative, engaging, and comprehensive planning process that led us here today, which is a final decision report recommending approval of the zoning bylaw amendment application. The lands at 250 Ferrand Drive consist of a 14-story office building oriented along Ferrand Drive. At the rear of the building, there's a 6-level above-grade parking deck and an expansive surface asphalt parking lot that extends from the building to the Don Valley Parkway. The site is designated mixed-use areas and is located within the Agricon Park and Museum, MTSA. The building has been substantially vacant for years and is now fully unoccupied, reflective of the limited demand for suburban office space in this particular location. The historic use of the building as an office is no longer viable, and therefore implementation of a alternate use of the site is necessary. Amexon proposes the adaptive reuse and retrofit of the existing 14-story office building into a 15-story mixed-use purpose-built rental apartment building. Aside from the development of the loading enclosure, no alterations are proposed to the massing of the building structure. To optimize building usage, the existing 14-story penthouse level, which has very large ceiling to floor heights, is proposed to be split horizontally to create a new 15th level within the same building massing. To facilitate the reuse, the building will undergo a full exterior facade upgrade and an extensive landscape retrofit program. The rear parking deck and surface parking area is proposed to be demolished and replaced with sod pursuant to city requirements, staff requirements. A total of 331 loft-style rental apartment units are proposed, of which 60% are to be family-sized 2- and 3-bedroom units. Non-residential uses are proposed at grade, oriented towards Ferrand Drive, which include a neighborhood cafe and a co-hub office working space. It is proposed to rezone the lands to a site-specific CR zone to more appropriately reflect the subject site's mixed-use area designation and location within an MTSA. The rezoning would facilitate renewal of the highly unutilized site to meet critical housing needs. We've reviewed staff report including staff recommendations, which we support, and we are happy to answer any questions the council might have.
Great, thank you for your comments. Any questions for the deputant? Councillors? Any questions for the deputant? No? Okay, thank you very much. We have no other speakers on the item. Oh, Councillor Carroll, you have questions?
Sorry, I'm furiously scrolling because I can't find it again. The breakdown. Oh, here it is. Sorry, I found it. Of 1s, 2s, and 3s. Okay, sorry, no questions. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Carroll. Questions for staff? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Questions for staff? No? Speakers? Councillor Burnside?
Move staff recommendations.
Okay, staff recommendations moved. Any other speakers on the item? Okay, we're voting on item number 2, 250 Ferrand Drive, zoning bylaw amendment. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Rochefort? Okay, we're on number 3, 711 Rochefort Drive. I do not have any speakers on the item. It's Councillor Burnside's item. Any questions for staff? Councillor Burnside, it's Rochefort Drive, rental housing demolition. Rochefort?
Rochefort?
Roche? Okay, no questions for staff. Speakers? Councillor Burnside, what's your plan with this item?
Move staff recommendations.
Okay. Staff recommendations being moved on item 3, 7, and 11 Rochefort Drive, rental housing demolition application. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. I have speakers on item number 4, 2236 Greenbriar Road, official plan amendment and zoning bylaw amendment application. I'm looking for Eric Retz. Eric Retz, I believe you're the applicant's representative?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, thanks for joining us. You have 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Eric Retz, and I'm a senior planner at W&D Associates. I'm here today to represent the owner of 22 to 36 Greenbriar and express our support for the recommendations being made today and make myself available for any questions that the committee members may have.
Okay, thank you for your brief comments. Any questions for the applicant's representative, the deputant? No, we're all good? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Questions for staff? No? Speakers, Councillor Carroll?
Thanks. No, there's been a lot of going back and forth on this. I just have a couple of motions. These are technical motions that just make slight changes to the staff recommendations based on the, last minute conversations. Hoping I can consider them as read. I'm deleting a recommendation to this just changes the draft zoning bylaw in accordance with attachment 1 instead of attachment 6. And then the other one. And then the other motion, if you could switch to that one. Oh, there it is. And the other one, Councillor Chang may be interested in. This is just, this is one of the applicants who has an appeal on their Renew Sheppard East Secondary Plan. And we're just asking that they scope all of their issues of appeal to their property specifically. And that's it.
Thank you, Councillor Carroll. Any questions for the mover? Okay, any other speakers on the item? Okay, we'll vote on the 2 amendments. I think the first one is for the supplementary report. This is based on the supplementary report, which is also attached to your files,
Yes.
your package. And of course, the second one is a standalone motion. Okay. First one on the screen, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And the second one. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Item is amended. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Now, the next one is item number 5. This was held down by Councillor Chernos-Lynn has held down 37 York Ridge Road, application for a fence exemption.
I just have questions for staff.
Okay, I don't have any deputations on the item, so Councillor Chernos-Lynn, questions for staff? Go ahead.
Thank you. So I just remind my colleagues, this came to council some months ago. And so this is a revisiting of this one where some improvements have been made. And I wonder if you could just speak, if staff could just speak to whether Juliet guards are a common form of pool enclosure in Toronto, and if you could just describe the ones that are now installed according to your report.
Yes, Council, thank you for the question. So I can't say they are common. They are a violation of the bylaw as they are not 1 meter out from the opening. I can say that other community councils, including this one, have approved them in the past. In this case, the owner has actually, they're not a Juliet gate, they're actually a guard where they have securely fastened them to brickwork. So there is no opening from the 2 exits from the dwelling, one being the garage and one being the home itself. So they are fully secure and you cannot get out through those exits.
So they're not gates, they're actual guards. There's a difference between those.
That is correct. A gate would open and allow access in and out. In this case, there is no access from these points. They are just bars that go across, and they do meet the height requirements in the bylaw.
Okay. And then if someone was to take those off, say at a later date, like actually go through the process of doing that, what could happen?
So if MLS received a complaint through 311, an officer would be sent out to investigate. We keep detailed records of all fence exemptions that we produce and bring to community councils. If they have changed that, then we would look at possible escalated enforcement for not meeting the enclosure requirements set forth in the bylaw.
Okay, thank you. And then the other fence, the issue is that it's too high, that is where it doesn't meet the bylaw. Is that correct? It's not that it's too low, so it's not a risk to accessing the pool in that sense.
That is correct. Both the other two fences are higher than the 2.4 meters allowed in the bylaw. Everything is over the minimum height that is required.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to move staff recommendation, or sorry, I would like to.
We're not, okay.
Sorry.
Okay, we'll be there in a minute, Councillor Chernow-Slin. Any other questions for staff? Councillor Carroll?
So the fence that's too high, is the concern simply that at some point in some generation we'll get a complaint about the fence being too high, or is it unstable in some way?
Thank you for the question, Councillor. No, it is not unstable in any way. It's made of good sound manufacturing. When I was out visiting myself, any violation in the bylaw for fences requires us to put that in there just in case in the future we did receive a complaint. Then at least this was spoken to at that time.
Right.
And one of the reasons that one of the fences is too high is because there's a climbable aspect on the outside of that fence requiring it to be a little bit higher so that somebody could not step on the brickwork and climb into the enclosure.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Carroll. Any other questions for staff?
No.
No?
But
Fine? Yes, no, we're going to speakers. Speakers, Councillor Chernow-Slin.
Okay, I'd like to move that we allow this to go through. So we grant the exemption in this case. I think there's been significant change made on this, and I think in the case of this, we're not allowing someone to build a low fence, we're allowing someone to build a high fence. So given that it's a water issue, like a pool issue, I'm comfortable with that. So I'm hoping my colleagues will support that.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other speakers on the item? Questions for the mover? Anything? No? Okay, recommendations before us on the screen. All those in favor?
Sure, we can do a recorded vote, just so we know where Councillor Carroll is.
No, we have to finish.
joke.
We have to finish the meeting quickly because Councillor Chernow-Slin has a new member of the family. She's got to get home, so we're going to vote on this quickly. All those in favor? Opposed?
Of the canine variety, to be clear.
It is a dog, I should point out.
I'm not like a human miracle or anything.
Okay, number 11, Ranleigh Avenue, traffic calming speed humps. I do not have any deputations on the item, and Councillor Chernow-Slin, you held the item down.
I did. I just wanted to speak to the item very briefly.
Okay. Firstly, any questions for staff? No? Councillors, no? No questions for staff? Speakers, Councillor Chernow-Slin.
Thank you. This request for speed calming measures was brought to our office through a petition from neighbors on Ranleigh. I wanted to thank residents for this. The request was for 3 speed humps. Staff recommendation is for 2, and because that's the appropriate number based on, once they got out to the street and looked at it. So I am in support of staff recommendations. I'd like to move staff recommendations and just thank the community. I know this is a street that has a lot of traffic on it with cut-through traffic. So appreciate the support on this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Chernow-Slin. Any other speakers on the item? Okay. Councillor Chernos Lynn has moved recommendations for number 11, speed humps on Ranleigh Avenue. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. The final business of today are the bills. Councillor Chang, would you like to take care of the first part?
Happy to. That Bill 143, prepared for the February 18, 2026 meeting 30 of the North York Community Council, be declared as bylaws and passed subject to Section 226.9 of the City of Toronto Act 2006.
Thank you very much. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. One more. Councillor Carroll, confirmatory bills?
The confirmatory bills to confirm the legislative proceedings of the North York Community Council acting under delegated authority at meeting 30 on February 18th, 2026 be declared as bylaws and passed subject to Section 226-9 of the City of Toronto Act of 2006.
Great. Thank you very much. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. So that concludes our business for today. Thank you very much, city staff, clerks, councillors, members of the public, deputants. Enjoy the rest of the day, and if you're leaving, have a safe drive home. Yeah, so just a reminder that I met my commitment of my campaign slogan of done before noon. We have achieved that today.